of those nights, guys. Dennis, wait until you hear the code in the music. Two of them. It's over water. right, howdy folks, welcome back. I told you I'd be back. That's the devastation from our tornadoes. Sad, sad. Please pray for those people. All right, meantime, we got other issues going on. I want you to take a look at that frame right there for a second with your trained eyes. I want you to look at the flow asymmetries right there. I want you to look at that photo and then that frame. That's today, March 15th, 2024. I want you to take a look at this photo as well. See the similarity? Do you see this big round object right there? Ripping plasma off the sun. There's a better shot of it from the last time it went through here. Well, not the last time, but a previous time when it passed by the sun. And you can see how it rips plasma off the sun. Its magnetic field is so strong and it's so dense that it rips plasma off the sun. This thing is kind of like a black hole. It's so dense that it doesn't reflect light, so you can't see it. It's basically invisible, and the only way you can see it is when it interacts with the sun and plasma drapes over it, okay? So there, you can see there's a good example of it, and there it is right there. Okay, this frame captured it pretty well because all the other frames didn't, but that's our thumbnail right there, and you can see our big round object back here. You can see the flow coming off of it, hitting and going around it too. Whoops, let me, and you can see the stuff wisping over the top, almost like water, in the wind when it goes over a fence or off the top of a roof. You can see this spray of plasma, particles going over it, just like you can here at the top up here as well. Okay, so Nemesis has returned, and it just keeps returning and returning and returning. I think we're getting closer and closer to it. Well, we'll discuss that when we get there, but right there is your object captured. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom back out of this, and we're going to start our report right there put that back into motion. Now, there's a couple of them. Watch the first blast. It's so intense that you can barely make out the first one right there, and then there's the second one. So it's really, really hard to see here. So there's your loop right there playing, and then you can also see this object coming out, down below there as well. So let me just kind of start plugging through this here. All right, so here we are as it emerges from behind the occulter. You can see this violent dip in the reading right there. Whoops. But then it smooths out. Now, last night I was commenting on the tracker image that was on the tracker. It was this frame right here. Okay, this is a conduit of plasma hitting the surface of that thing and spreading out in a ring type fashion, in a circular ring, which I call a damage ring or an impact zone. And what I'm going to do right now is give you a hand-drawn representation of what we're seeing here. And for those of you who can't kind of grasp or see what we're seeing here, I'm going to try something real quick here. Let's divert from this for a second. Now, this is a picture I drew while I was tied up, let's just say. All right, now can you see, this is the sun. You see this conduit of plasma that's hitting this bigger object, and it spreads out in a circular fashion. There's your damage ring or impact zone right there, okay? And now this is a black spheroid, super, super dense, okay? And we're going to get into black hole tonight, the definition of a black hole, what a real black hole is, because it's not a hole in the space-time continuum as Disney would have you believe. Okay, so you can see this plasma conduit just coming out, and it's almost as wide as the sun. Look how big it was coming off the sun, hitting this, boom, and spreading out in that circular fashion. I'll back it up a little bit, and then we'll go forward. Watch closely. All right, we skipped a couple frames there. We went from 340. We should have had a couple of frames more. It jumps to 410, so it's kind of already past and out of the field of view now. And you can see the flow. You can also see a little planetoid right here following it. Over here, you can see this flow. All right, now, here comes our second one. See it right there? And now watch how the plasma reaches out to this and spreads over it in a circular fashion. Do you see this circular going over a sphere? Come on, give me the next frame. So you see this plasma, how it hits this bigger sphere in the back and starts to spread over the surface of it as it moves by. And then we also have our little trailing moons, planetoids, satellites. You can see in this image right here, down below here, how much plasma it has still attached to the actual object itself. Where was a good shot of it? Right there. All right. Can you see our round black object right here with the plasma draping around part of it right here and going across the front of it? That one's pretty clear that you can see right there. I'll even zoom right up into it, get it right up in its face. Okay. Whoops. Give me this arrow again, darn it. Pretty cool image right there. Kind of like some of those images in the other opening the other night. All right, and that's the little trailing planetoid moon, whatever. There's so many of them that it's like we could call it Nibiru, but it could be any one of many moons, satellites that orbit these bigger objects. All right, now let's continue. Let me slide it a little bit more for you guys. All right, that was about it. See this spire still here. Another little something creeping out down here. So let's go through that one more time. What I'm trying to do is play it and then slow it down this time, because this one needs to be slowed down a little bit so you can see the motion. All right, here it goes. Hopefully that was slow enough to capture it there. Let me just try this one more time here. All right, so let's see if we can get that one more frame right here. Right there. See it lurking right here? There's the top of it. This big old spheroid right there. And then It's obviously there because you can see this stuff cresting over the top of it right here. All right, there's the limb of this object, and the solar, or the, well, solar wind plasma going, almost like water blowing off the top of the roof of your house or something in the wind. All right, you see it right there, and it's the same effect that we see in this pass here before earlier. This is back in 23. All right, so there's that. As you can see, we've had it's made another pass by the sun, causing quite a big explosion there. Thank God it wasn't Earth facing. So let's come on over to our solar ham here and take care of this real quick. What it did do was cause a proton storm. Okay, a pretty healthy proton storm followed it. But look at how smooth everything is after the event. See how everything gets all nice and tight and smooth here? We'll even zoom in on this real quick. All right, everything was so choppy and bumpy, and just after this event, nice and smooth, little tiny fart, but that's it. It's let me get these lines out of there. There we go. So pretty smooth ride since. Now that thing is probably, well, I'm not going to get into it, but here you can see our ion, or our proton storm still underway. And what I forgot to do was open up a D region absorption map. We'll do that in a second once we finish this up. Okay, so X flare potential went way down to 1% because it's all flatlined now. All right, our proton is still underway. M flare down to 10% because it's almost a suppression type event. After that happens, the sun is so like exhausted that it just goes, and takes a nice little flatline nap type thing until it rotates, it comes back around again. All right, so there is your GOES X-ray. We have 4 sunspots. They're pretty weak and getting smaller, almost dissipating. Our KP, all right, we took a pretty good little chunk of energy right there, but it's been descending since then, which is good news. All right, so not a bunch of energy being absorbed. You can tell by looking at our aurora right here how weak it is. Let's just pop it open real quick. And both the northern and southern poles are both very weak. The auroras are very weak, and that's good because we don't need to be taking on any more energy. Now, let's get to this article here. Low energy proton levels are currently at elevated levels, but so far remains below the minor S1 radiation storm threshold. This was the result of a large coronal mass ejection observed earlier Friday. That originated from behind the west limb. Based on the eruption location, the passage past Earth is unlikely. All right, but this thing, as it passes the sun, it fires off as it approaches. So that makes it kind of fire back towards it as it approaches. Whoops. There we go. Did we have this just a tad bit bigger, Lord, please? There we go. All right, you can see very wide, very big, broad CME right there, okay? Thankfully, not coming our way, but as an object comes this way and approaches the sun, pew, fires off at it as it goes like that. So it'll probably be passing us in about 3 days, which would put it at March 18th, which 318... How many times does 3 go into 18? Yeah, 3 over 18 is a fraction. That's 3 sixes. March 18th is 3 sixes. I got attacked that night. Found out the hard way. Anyway, So look at this one. There's not showing anything on this map at all, so that's good. Big, huge CME, big, broad swath, but heading away. The fact that it initiated the proton event that's still coming at us kind of tells me that that object's gonna, it's gonna make a pass by this quadrant possibly, all right, and go by our Earth again. And what on the 18th is a day to look up into the sky and look for a dark patch in your sky, not the object itself, but a fuzzy dark patch where light is missing. All right, so backing out of that. Very quiet on the sunspots right now, so let's get on over to this one real quick. All right. Protons are raining down on Earth. Solar protons are raining down on Earth's upper atmosphere today following a March 14th explosion from departing sunspot 3599. This is causing a polar cap absorption event. Remember we had these before, these PCAs? Okay, shortwave radio transmissions in the Arctic Circle are being absorbed by the ionizing effects. This event is expected to continue for at least another 24 hours. Okay, so another 24 hours. Some of these proton events were like days long. So they say this event is expected to continue for another 24 hours. Watch out, it could last longer, okay, because we've seen them last longer. This thing, auroras love equinoxes. The vernal equinox is only 3 days away. That's good news because aurora loves equinoxes. Researchers call it the Russell McPherson effect. Russell McPherson was wrong. But what I like about this thing is it says they admit at this time of the year, cracks form in the Earth's magnetic field. What? What? Cracks form in the Earth's magnetic field. Now, I know what they're talking about. We've all seen these little indentations here on the instruments. I doubt if that's what it's going to show, though. It's an article. Cool aurora, though. But the reason why is because around the equinoxes is March and September. That's when our object likes to return. And the activity on the sun causes the equinoxes, okay? It weakens the magnetic field, we know, down at the core level. That's what causes these, what they theorize as cracks. It's a weakening Earth's magnetic field this time of the year because of the solar activity, because of the annual bi-yearly return of this object, okay? And it used to be March and September, and now it's becoming more and more often now. All right, but here we are in March, middle of March, and here it has returned again, okay? So, going back over to the space, whoopsie, this one. I disagree with the McPherson effect. At this time of the year, the Earth's magnetic field weakens due to activity on the sun that affects the core, okay, allowing even weak gusts of solar wind to spark a good display. Remember, we've had those low latitude auroral displays, even when we didn't have an X flare or anything like that. It's because of our weakening magnetic field. How come it happened at those times of the year when there wasn't cracks in the atmosphere or in the magnetosphere? So that's why I kind of beg to differ on these guys. But they'll catch up here soon. Anyways, here's an example last night from 35,000 feet while flying over on the Dreamliner from Calgary to Paris. That'd be cool. Taking an airplane and flying underneath these things in between the Earth and the auroras. I witnessed an amazing display of auroras near Rankin Inlet in Canada. That's cool. Alrighty, we got to move on. All right. Here we go. I'll just let you kind of look at the change that since last night. And then look over here. I don't even know how to begin to describe this. It has shifted so much and changed again overnight. So let's just start getting in here real quick. All right. Our main polar vortex is this one now. All right. And that's the one that's over North America. And it was blowing down this way, and then it came over to Greenland and was, expelling this way. Now it's really shifted to an east-west type angle of attack here. But then it does a U-turn right over the country and heads back out. Both areas are very intense right here, okay? So this is a different kind of vortex. We got another vortex going on right here, all right? So we got two vortexes over North America right here, with the middle part of the jet spewing the fire hose, right at right like Salt Lake City in the West Coast area, right? Okay, so before, a month ago, we saw weather going backwards, or not weather, but the polar vortex going backwards all the way down to Mexico. Now it has receded, and now it's doing a 180 and going around the other way. Okay, so that's over America. Now look, remember we had this flattened out conveyor belt effect? It has changed. This has become its own independent vortex now, as well as this one is its own independent vortex, and it is grabbing power, mixing with the other one, and got a little bit of intensity there. But look at the intensity below it, because this sub-vortex right here has created another vortex off of it. And then we got this thing branching out over here too. So, well, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vortexes. Just kind of position it like that. Crazy. Right there. All right, so we were in transition season, but I've never seen a transition like this before. This one's just crazy. And it's not spring yet. We're still at the tail end of winter. There's still 5 more days. But as you can see, our polar vortex has done quite a number here. And you got intensity over here coming off the East Coast. You have intensity here over the Mediterranean, going up into the Black Sea area. It does a U-turn and goes back up into here. Just so weird. All right, now also, this vortex over America is bringing cold air out of Canada, bringing it down to the plains, and then 180 back out this way. All right, so we have 5 different kind of vortexes going on here. Let's go to the transition layer. And you can see just a little bit here how that correlates with a polar vortex. See how this is blowing this way? It's causing a ridge in this area down below. See that? Making weather go up over it and down below it, thus doing this to our jet streams. See your transition and how it affects the jet stream. Now look at this right here over the West Coast. Dang, this changed again since I opened. Look how it's coming over and then all the way back and then through. It's like a like the derailleur on a 10-speed. Your chain going all the way around one gear and then back around the other one and out. So this is our upper jet stream effect now. And if you look, we got wrapping back and then going, also splitting off and going. This wraparound blends back into it over here. But when I take the wind's weight, look how much red and purple are over the United States. That's a lot. Very, very strong, heavy jet stream. Now we'll go down to the lower, and you can still see the correlations here. All right, see this big, huge ridge coming over, up into Canada and then coming back down across the Great Lakes region. Meanwhile, this thing's twirling backwards. It's throwing thunderstorms up here to Texas. There were thunderstorms in Mexico heading towards Texas, making tornadoes in that region. Then off the coast, you can see just these dips, valleys, all kinds of just craziness out there. All right, now let me go down to the weather, right about where our weather is. You see these storms out here? They're getting all discombobulated now. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4. This one up here as well. So a lot going on out here. You see these big old tails hanging off right here. Let me get one right there, one right here. Here's another one. Here's another one. So we got some storms lined up, and this, with the passage of the bigger object, will cause problems. Is already starting to cause problems. It's just going to intensify the closer it gets. All right, so there's your weather kind of thing for the moment. Let me pop this open and come over to the sand. Usually this thing will kick up sand too when it passes, so we might see an intensification of our sandstorms. See how this is getting more white here in Central Africa? Look at this. What's this going up here by the Caspian Sea? Big sandstorm up here coming off of, Iran, Iraq region going up into Russia here. See this? Then Saudi Arabia's having some. Africa's having some. We have this one here by the Gobi Desert. And look how this storm has picked up sand and has concentrated it in that region right along that storm front. So they're going to have a sand weather front with sand mixed into it. Nice. A lot going on. And this is all out of season. All these sandstorms shouldn't be happening until summertime. So as this object, if it passes close to us again, I expect to see the sandstorms actually intensify. Back to, chemicals. My bad. Now to the SO2. Take away the wind. And let's take a peek. Now, note how this intense area has moved and shifted up here more. Let's see if that's anything to do with the wind. No, not really. Okay. So, a little bit of decrease down in the southern part here, but it has shifted up into here. So we're seeing, a change, not so much in pressure, but in location of the pressure. So a little shift is happening here. You see how Europe's all kind of bleeding out there. Let's go down to Java. It's looking pretty dark. Let's put some wind on there just to make sure it's the wind. Yeah, it's the wind currents. Actually, when we take them off, it's still pretty purple all the way through here. So watch, when we put the winds on, it's not the winds causing the plume to go down the island. The winds are going across and run parallel with the island, but, well, I guess it is being dragged a little bit. Yeah, I guess it's just being dragged down the island a little bit. Anyways, mainly more strong right up at this part. Not as intense in pressure. Looks like we had kind of stabilize maybe a little bit. Here's America. Okay, let's get a little glimpse of that. Also, our spot down here in South America is about the same. So I'd say pressure's still about the same as it was last night. Maybe maybe a little less. We may have had a little relief of pressure there. All right, let's come on over to earthquake report tonight. Okay, start with our deep quakes. Here we go. Can you see that? Okay, it is in the screen. All right, 4.7 down at 507, a 4.4 down at 550, and a 4.7 down at 509. We have had 3 deep quakes. Usually we see 1. So we've had 3 deep quakes. That means that pressure down below is starting to make its way to the surface now, all right? And we've seen 3 deep quakes. It didn't set off much here in this region at the surface. Let's come on over here. Here's the surface, 5.2 at a depth of 10 there. Over in this region, we have this one, 4.7 down at 50, another 4.7 down at 33, and a 4.3. That one's more, that's a little deeper down at 477. Okay, so a little bit of deep activity in this pit area, okay, and a couple of surface quakes. Up here, we've had a 5.2. Is there another one? Take the other one, too. A 5.6 at a depth of 10 and a 5.2 at a depth of 10. So a couple of mid-range 5s right there. That relieves some energy in this region. Coming over here, very quiet all up through here, through the fulcrum point, up to this. 4.6 in China. And over here by Gibraltar. 4.5 here at Morocco down at 10. So mid-range 4 in this area is like one of your little diverse quakes. Okay, you don't see them here very often. So there's a little diverse quake there for you. Okay, let's come on over here too. Got that Noah feeling, huh? All right. There's the 3.5 right there. And that was what? Minnesota? No. Missouri. Okay, so mid-range 3 here in Missouri. Little mouse farts here in Texas and California, but nothing too big. We got some activity going on here at Hawaii. Let me just do all magnitudes for this one real quick. Take a peek in here. Close that one out. All right, so now you can see we've had a few little small quakes, nothing too big, but right here we have 3 new red quakes here in red. Hopefully they're showing up. I don't know, it doesn't look like it on my screen, but boom, a 2.0. This is a 3.1. So a few little small quakes starting to fire off here. I believe we're seeing a little pressure starting to make it to the surface here. We had these deep quakes down here. Let's see what this is. Here's a 5.5 at a depth of 10. So these deeper quakes did trigger a little higher magnitude at the surface, 5.5. And that one was a 4.1, but that's on land. And that was a 5.2. So yeah, a little bit higher than 5.0. Not by much. So there's slight increase in magnitude, but not too much. Now, yesterday we didn't see anything over here at South America. Here's a 4.0 down at 202. And then out here on this plate boundary is a 4.8. So almost a 5 right there at a boundary quake. So another release of pressure right there. And kind of a diverse quake. Even though it's on a plate boundary, we don't usually see them right there. They're out at this one or they're here at the fulcrum point. So kind of a different little spot right there to take notes on, possible, future event site. Okay, I think that's about it for our quake report. And why is it freezing up on me now? I did not want that there. How did that happen? All right, well, let's just move on to our volcano report, shall we? Please, Lord, can we have the volcano report? Here we go. Looks like it's going to load up for us after all. Close it. Don't want to download no PDF. No, thank you. Okay, already into the 16th. Fuego, Popo, Marapi, Reventador, Nevada del Ruiz. Marapi, 19,000 feet. That's a pretty good blast out of Marapi. And we're almost 20,000 feet out of that one on the island of Sumatra, right across from Java there. Here we are at Popocatépetl, 21,000 feet. Fuego, 15,000 feet. Nevada del Ruiz, 20,000. Reventador, not seen yet. Let's open up the 15th and see what we had for the course of today. Come on now. Please, Lord, let this volcano page load. Anyways, well, as soon as I say that. All right. You see all those names? Let's just continue on. Please, can I scroll? All right. Here we are over at Ebico. The eruption at the volcano continues at moderate levels, 10,000 feet. If it weren't for all these wonderful PDF, open, add, blah, 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 we could actually use the page. We're going to add ourselves into extinction. You won't be able to breathe because there's so many ads. Fernandina still has lava flow going down, those lava arms going down it. Popo, 20,000 feet. I do not want to download no PDF stuff. Are you guys on drugs or something? I did not want to download that. I'm trying to get rid of it. Click on the X to get rid of it, and it opens it up instead. Wonderful. All right, back to where we were. Fuego, nothing. Nevada, 20. Reventador, 14. Oh, all that work for 3 volcanoes. Okay. Anyways, over to the list. All these still currently erupting. All these have the potential. Etna should watch that one. Gamalama. Don't forget about Krakatoa, still currently erupting too. All right, why is the lighting so bad tonight? Is it me or is the lighting just bad? And then this thing shifted. All right. Anyways, we got Manam, Mayon, Nevada del Ruiz. Should be over on this list. Put it over there. Popocatépetl, Reventador, Rayon, Recahenus is still very magma intrusion persists, indicating an imminent eruption. So it's right on the verge too. And probably since we had a pretty good release of pressure, you might not see that one going off yet. But it's right at the rim. So any kind of influence from the sun, if we took on that big old CME and absorbed it, I bet you that would be enough to set Recahenus off. We absorb a bunch of energy from the sun. Okay, Recon de Vieja. Watch out for Stromboli also. Okay, enough of that. Let's get on over to our weather forecast, which is just, I'll let that play for a minute. Get rid of some of these other instruments here. All right, let this little movie play here. All right. All right, opening frame right here. The nighttime, the 15th. Right now, we are having some severe thunderstorms down here in Texas. It's coming out of Mexico, going up into Texas. So you guys down here in very southern Texas, watch out for tonight. All right, now as we continue going into the morning time of the 16th, right there. I want a little bit more. Oh, the stupid toolbar. Why does it do that? All right, anyways, let's continue here. The morning of the 16th, there's noontime convection. All right, so at the end of convection, possible severe weather here in eastern Texas. The nighttime, it's going to pop up and we'll have nocturnal thunderstorms then. Morning of the 17th, it gets severe still. Right here, Louisiana, by the noontime right here is going to be something to watch there, okay? All right, there's the convection of the 17th. Nighttime, morning of the 18th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 19th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 20th, noon, convection, nighttime. Little scattered pop-ups. Morning of the 21st, first day of spring, noon. Watch out along the coast there. Convection, and you see it splitting. Nighttime. Morning of the 22nd. Watch out, Florida. By noontime. Oh. By noontime, it'll be crossing the peninsula there. So very severe weather there, possibly on the 22nd of March for Florida there. The convection, the nighttime, morning of the 23rd, noon. Look at this severe weather by noon. Convection, nighttime. It starts to drive up the east coast the night of the 23rd. Morning of the 24th, you got severe weather all around this area, icing possibly up there. There's the noontime, severe weather and snow, heavy snow up here behind it. That's the noon of the 24th. Convection, nighttime, morning of the 25th, noon, convection. Look at this thing. Wow, the convection of this, when the sun goes down, big ice storm up there, snow on the backside, big, huge, like big linear storm here with severe weather all over it. All right, and that's all subject to change right there, but this is going to be starting... Wow, way back here. So starting the night of the 23rd, as these two air masses collide, you're starting to see icing here maybe in South Dakota. And then this thing through the morning of the 24th, noon, convection, nighttime. Then by the morning of the 25th, it's really starting to get organized. And then it goes noon, convection, nighttime. So that'll be a gnarly storm. Everybody needs to be careful there. That'll be the morning of the 26th, 985 low. There's a noontime convection, the nighttime of the 26th, morning of the 27th. Severe storm coming here on the West Coast, noon, the 27th, convection down here, nighttime. Wow, look at this. All right. That'd be the morning of the 28th, noon, convection, nighttime. Over here again, morning of the 29th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 30th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 31st, noon, convection, nighttime. All right. The rest of that's so far out in advance there, but our concerns a little bit, the tornadoes tonight, and then this little event right there around the 17th. And then clears out for a few days there. And then starting around the 21st, we get this. And then around the 23rd through the 24th, 25th, even into the 26th, right there is that event, okay? The rest of this is too far out in advance. It'll all change. Yeah, everything's changing so drastically. You saw how quickly the polar vortex changed. That changes all this stuff up in a heartbeat. So, okay, we are done, son. Now, you don't need to be telling people that. Okay. All right, now, let's get on to the spiritual report. First, before we do that, face, I want to do this video. And how do I get this back over here? There we go. All right. Full screen here. Now, this is that face by the moon, but this is more of the video. So I'll get the volume going here a little bit. The thing about this is I thought it was in the clouds and the moon was illuminating the clouds. This is actually way out by the moon. So let's just play this real quick so you can see that.
It's February 28th, 29th, 28th, 29th. I have got me a better quality camera to catch the thing in the sky.
All right, did you hear that? He's already seen it. And he got himself a better quality camera. So he went and spent some money just to capture this because he's already seen it there before. So it's not in the clouds because he's already seen it there before. So
I am scared. I'm scared, but I'm not going to trip because I've been catching this thing for a while now. It's very ominous. There he is. There he is. There he is. There he is. It's a huge face.
What is that?
Looking right down on us. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit brighter. There he is. There's the moon. Oh, I lost it. There it is. Let me see if I can get a better picture on the moon like it's supposed to. Is my hand in front of the thing or something?
Okay, so he did not just like pull out his phone. You see how small the moon is up here? It's way up there. It's not like this face is already visible right here. Okay, so he has to zoom way, way up on the moon, and then it's right next to it. So watch, just carefully.
Thing in the sky, and holy moly, I am scared. I'm scared, but I'm not going to trip because I've been catching this thing for a while now. It's very ominous. There he is. There he is. There he is. There he is.
Very ominous. There he is. He keeps referring to there he is. So, there he is. There's a little bit better image. And how would you feel if you were seeing your face in the sky like this? Wouldn't it kind of, it's a little disturbing? You know, I'm not a like big ego type guy, all right? I don't like to be kind of shy, you know, a little bit. Not the type to go, oh yeah, look at me all over the place. That's my face all over the place. No, it's more like, oh my God, what is happening? Yeah. So, and, you know, I've been through many doctors and through many institutions and jail, all kinds of wonderful stuff because nobody will believe me. And then they see it and they go, what's going on here? Well, there's somebody with an answer, but you don't believe them, so you know, I guess you'll not figure it out. Except for the people in the channel, this audience. All right, now let me get my reading all ready. And we'll do some reading to that face right there for a minute here. Any better lighting? All right. I need a sip too. Everybody, take a deep breath all the way in and hold it for a minute. Do a couple of them here before we start reading. Okay. Find me in the midst of the maelstrom. Sometimes events whirl around you so quickly that you become a blur. Whisper my name in recognition that I am still with you. Without skipping a beat in the activities that occupy you, you find strength and peace through praying my name. Later, later, when the happenings have run their course, you can talk with me more fully. Accept each day just as it comes to you. Do not waste your time and energy wishing for a different set of circumstances. Instead, trust me enough to yield to my design and purposes. Remember that nothing can separate you from my loving presence. You are mine. You really are. Pretty cool stuff. All right. Expect to encounter adversity in your life, remembering that you live in a deeply fallen world. Stop trying to find a way that circumvents difficulties. The main problem with an easy life is that it masks your need for me. When you become a Christian, I infused my very life into you, empowering you to live on a supernatural plane by depending on me. That supernatural plane, that's the spiritual work that we're doing hours and at a time in the day, okay, to find peace and strength. So, anticipate coming face to face with impossibilities, situations totally beyond your ability to handle. This awareness of your inadequacy is not something you should try to evade. It is precisely where I want you, the best place to encounter me in my glory and in my power. When you see armies of problems marching toward you, cry out to me. Allow me to fight for you. Watch me working on your behalf as you rest in the shadow of my almighty presence. Oh, bent that one all up. Okay, well, it's okay. I continually call you to closeness with me. I know the depth and breadth of your need, and I can read the emptiness of your thoughts when they wander away from me. I offer you rest for your soul as well as refreshment for your mind and body. As you increasingly find fulfillment in me, other pleasures become less important. Knowing me intimately is like having a private wellspring of joy within you. This spring flows freely from my throne of grace, so your joy is independent of circumstances. Waiting in my presence keeps you connected to me, aware of all that I offer you. If you feel any deficiency, you need to refocus your attention on me. This is how you trust me in the moments of your life. I am a God who heals. I heal broken bodies, broken minds, broken hearts, broken lives, and broken relationships. My very presence has immense healing powers. You cannot live close to me without experiencing some degree of healing. I'm going to say that again. You cannot live close to me without experiencing some degree of healing. However, it is also true that you have not because you ask not. You receive the healing that flows naturally from my presence, whether you seek it or not. But there is more. There is much more available to those who ask. Huh, Gabe? The first step in receiving healing is to live ever so close to me. The benefits of this practice are too numerous to list. As you grow more and more intimate with me, I reveal my will to you more directly. When the time is right, I prompt you to ask for healing of some brokenness in you or another person. The healing may be instantaneous or it may be a process. That is up to me. Your part is to trust me fully to thank me for the restoration that has begun. I rarely heal all the brokenness in a person's life. My servant Paul was told, "My grace is sufficient for you," when he sought healing from the thorn in his flesh. Nonetheless, much healing is available to those whose lives are intimately interwoven with mine. Ask and you will receive. Okay, so wait with me for a while. I have much to tell you. You are walking along the path I have chosen for you. It is both a privilege and a perilous way, experiencing my glorious presence and heralding that reality to others. Sometimes you feel presumptuous to be carrying out such an assignment. Do not worry about what other people think of you. The work I am doing in you is hidden at first, but eventually it blossoms and will burst forth. Abundant fruit will be born. So stay on the path of life with me. Trust me wholeheartedly, letting my spirit fill you with joy and peace. Trust me and don't be afraid. I want you to view trials and exercises designed to develop your trust muscles. You live in the midst of a fierce spiritual battle, and fear is one of Satan's favorite weapons. When you start to feel afraid, affirm your trust in me. Speak out loud if circumstances permit, and resist the devil in my name, and he will slink away from you. Refresh yourself in my holy presence. Speak or sing praises to me, and my face will shine radiantly upon you. Okay? Speak or sing praises to me, and my face will shine radiantly upon you. Remember that there is no condemnation for those who belong to me. You have been judged not guilty for all eternity. So trust me and don't be afraid, for I am your strength, song, and salvation. Oh, so much more. Hang on. I have searched you out, and I know you. I am intimately acquainted. I am intimately acquainted with all your ways. Even before there is a word on your tongue, I know it all. Beloved, you are indeed fully known. I have complete knowledge over everything about you, including your most secret thoughts and feelings. This transparency could be terrifying for you if you were not my follower. But you have nothing to fear, because my perfect righteousness has been credited to you through your faith in me. You are a cherished member of this royal family. Get that back up there. Squeaking on the microphone. I want you to understand that. Where to go again here? You have nothing to fear, because my perfect righteousness has been credited to you through your faith in me. You are a cherished member of this royal family. My intimate relationship with you is a powerful antidote to the fears. Whenever you feel alone or afraid, oh, great. I gotta go. Sorry, I guess I gotta go. Let me finish reading this. Alright, guess we gotta end this. Did that work? Wait, am I back? I think I'm back. All right, here, let me finish reading this real quick and then I got to get going. A new emergency popped up. So, oh, dang it. All right, we'll just finish right here then. My intimate relationship with you is a powerful antidote to the feelings of loneliness. Whenever you feel alone or afraid, voice your prayers to me. I hear your silent prayers too, but whispering your words or uttering them out loud helps you think more clearly. Because I understand you perfectly, you don't have to explain things to me. You can dive right in, seeking my help in your here and now circumstances. Spend a few moments relaxing with me, breathing in the joy of my presence. And while you wait, I work on renewing your mind. As the light of my presence shines into your mind, darkness flees and deception is unmasked. However, there are many surfaces where old thought patterns try to hide. Old crevices where old thought patterns try to hide. My spirit can search out and destroy those enemies, but he awaits your cooperation. Habitual ways of thinking do not die easily. When the spirit's light illuminates a hurtful thought, capture it by writing it down. Then bring it to me so we can examine it together. I will help identify the distortions and replace them with biblical truth. The more you focus on me and my word, the more you can break free from painful, irrational thoughts. They usually have their roots in distressing experiences that wounded you, so the distortions are deeply etched into your brain. You may need to recapture the same thought multiple times before you can gain mastery over it. But all that effort leads to a marvelous result: increased ability to live freely and enjoy my presence. I got so much more for you guys. I wish I could continue. Okay, guy, here, we'll close this one real quick. Thanks for hanging in there, you guys. This is the most important thing, too. I want you guys to know that your prayers are not cries in the dark. Rise to my kingdom of glorious light. Call to me, and I will answer you and show you great and mighty things. Mankind has long been plagued with eyes that do not see what is most important. People often fail to perceive the most obvious things. I can perform miracles before their very eyes. They only see mundane occurrences or label them coincidences. Only the eyes of your heart can perceive spiritual realities. I delight in people who have a teachable attitude. When you come to me eager to learn great things which you do not know, I rejoice. A good teacher takes pleasure in a student who puts forth extra effort to discover new things. I am pleased with your desire to learn wondrous things from me. Your openness to my teachings helps you understand to which I have called you, the riches of my glorious inheritance in which you share. You can look forward to living with me in the holy city where the glory of God provides the light. All right, that's it for tonight, you guys. I got to get going. I've got an emergency. I love you all. I miss you all. Thank you all for being here. Maybe I might do a little late night session or something in about an hour or two when I get back, if we're still around. All right. I love you all. I miss you all. And until my next show, I will be back. I am already back, and the world is finding out slowly but surely. Love you all. Bye.